Husky Fat Promotions.
Hey everybody, this contest tonight is sponsored by Green County Electric, Weathers TV and Edmond, as well as Ambassador Roofing and Construction. This bout is set for 3 rounds at 2 minutes apiece in the weight class of 165 pounds. Fighting out of the blue corner tonight, representing Arlington Muay Thai, coming off a fight of the night performance, Mr. Christopher Azreal Angel. And his opponent tonight, fighting out of the JF Roofing and ABC Supply Red Corner, making his debut out of Edmond, Oklahoma, representing Raptor Jiu-Jitsu, Bobby Chapman.
Here we go. One of the things that I make mention of before with being in shape, though, you know, the diet of a fighter, as you know. I mean, come on, man. We were just talking about tacos and carnitas and pozole and menudo. Look, man, you're coming from the South, fried chickens, you know. It's so difficult to stay in shape when you're a fighter sometimes.
Absolutely. It's the toughest part for me for sure is the diet. But, you know, you get focused, you get disciplined, and you put the work in.
Now, these two guys, right away, we're not saying it like we did in the first fight, but this one, a little bit bigger size, obviously, a little bit more power in the punches. So far, these guys look a little more calculated versus what we saw before, Manuel.
Well, I think you see the, the age, you see the experience and the training, I think, coming out here, staying composed, picking your shots, not tiring yourself out like Dominic did last fight. You know, I think that's going to be a learning lesson for him, and that these guys are doing great coming out here and assessing what his opponent is going to do.
You know, one of the things that we're looking at right now from Christopher Angel right off the rip is those leg kicks to the thighs. For those who don't know out there, Manuel, that's where the stamina is.
Yeah, absolutely. The legs, man, they go first. When you get hit that chin or in the head, the legs go first. And this guy, you know, it's not about how big your legs are. It's about how conditioned your legs are. Obviously, Christopher, man, got a big frame. He's got big shoulders, big legs. And then you see, Bobby Chapman a little leaner. I guess I should say just a little thinner. And none of that matters. The skill is what's going to matter, and we're about to see that.
Well, obviously, at any given moment, anything can happen. Now, here's the other thing, right? We're hearing a lot of loudness. That doesn't necessarily mean it's connected, though, Emmanuel.
Yeah, we are hearing the thuds, the slaps, but the thuds is what really hurts, not the slaps. So whenever we hear that big thud is when we know they landed.
Right now, both of these guys, as we talked about, more calculated. Still, though, very entertaining fight. These guys look very poised, both of them so far through round number 1.
Man, Christopher is very kick heavy.
There we go. Couple of heavy shots right there to end the first round. There it is, almost a takedown. You could see where he's really beating on that left thigh right now. Chris Angel, to me, probably took that round. But what did you see, Emmanuel?
Yeah, I think Christopher was getting really kick heavy, was landing nice kicks to the legs, nice kicks to the body. You see the redness building up on Chapman's body, but I think Chapman really needs to be able to block or parry those kicks and land some of his own. He has to put pressure on a kick-heavy guy like Christopher.
Well, defensively, how do you counter that, right? Because we've seen guys, obviously, in fights, especially in the UFC, they go to make a block. Next thing you know, man, that guy doesn't have a leg anymore, right? So how do you block those types of things, Emmanuel?
Well, the first line of defense is a parry or make a miss, right? Even the blocks can hurt. So the second line of defense is the block. So if you block, you gotta be able to return something. You do not let him have any free kicks. You gotta return that.
Boy, we're looking at it right now. Chapman, you could tell, really red and really wilted in some places. It looks like Chris has done a tremendous job of working those legs out, preparing for this fight.
And you see Chris, being a southpaw, it opens up these right kicks for both guys. The right kick for Chapman and the left kick for Christopher, and it opens up to where you're able to land to the body a lot easier than an orthodox versus orthodox stance.
Well, here we go. Both guys are getting a little bit more relaxed. We're seeing a lot more action right now. Some good shots. There it is, right to the face There we go. He sees an opening. Chris got that killer instinct in him. He's not backing off. And what a shot. And by the way, Chapman is busted wide open over his right eye right now. And the ref is going to have him take a look here. He's going to let him go. Chapman's showing some guts, but this thing is getting ugly really quick for Chapman. And Chris Angel is seeing it and just going for it. Right now he's like a shark in the water smelling blood, but you got to give it to Chapman though, Emmanuel, not backing down here at all.
Man, Chapman is not backing down. He's moving forward no matter the blood running down his face. You know, Chapman is moving forward, but man, Christopher has some nasty kicks, and he was able to land that left kick up to the top.
It looks like the ref is going to have the fight doctor take a look at that cut as to whether or not he can keep going. That is one nasty gash.
Well, the problem is when it's over the eyes, not under eyes. So if it looks like it's over the eye, and that can affect the vision of a fighter. So the doctor has to be conscious about that.
Well, the idea is protect yourself at all times, and in order to be able to continue to fight, you have to be able to intelligently defend yourself. That's what you're getting at, correct, Emmanuel?
Absolutely, at all times, man. It's something that we have learned. Even if it looks like a cheap shot, it's not the guy that did the cheap shot's fault. You have to protect yourself at all times. They're letting this fight go. Looks like the doctor said it was okay. There was an action-packed fight, so I'm glad that they're letting this go.
Well, here we go. It is back on. Now, the negative is that pause could affect Chris because he was dominating that fight. Now, Billy's got a chance to reset here.
100%. You know, breaks can affect people different ways, and right now I think that it's actually affecting Christopher more with Chapman. Chapman kind of needed that break to let that cut.
And you see he's taking advantage of it. A couple of right crosses. And now Chapman with a knockdown on his own. And it will count. Chapman going all out here. I tell you what, he's showing a lot of moxie, Emmanuel.
Man, what action we are seeing right now. These guys are amateurs, but they look like pros, man. They're looking really good, really crisp, both coming out of great camps.
10 seconds into round number 2. Both guys staring each other down. Bobby Chapman is smiling, telling Chris Angel, come on. Man, oh man, what a round number 2 that was for Kick Me I'm Irish Live here in Edmond, Oklahoma. Boy, I tell you what, from a trainer's perspective, though, what's your concern, obviously, with that cut? Are you thinking about maybe stopping the fight?
No, you know, as a corner, you don't really, talk about stopping the fight. You let the doctor, dictate that. That's his job. But I would tell my fighter, you got to keep that right hand up. That's where the cut is. You got to be conscious of that because you do not want that cut to get any worse because it will drip into your eyes and it will affect your vision.
Now, the main thing here is, though, Emmanuel, obviously he's being told, like you said, you got to protect it. But now maybe do you get to a mindset as a fighter where you're too defensive over that right eye, leaving yourself open in other areas?
That's the problem with a fight. You know, you are thinking about it. That blood is running down into your eye, and you have to act like it's not. You have to act like it's not bothering you because if you show sign of weakness, then the opponent will attack.
What are you telling Chris Angel right now if you're in his corner?
I'm telling him he's got to get more kick heavy. Aim for the body and then aim for the head. So go body, head, and really stop getting into these punching exchanges with Chapman. Chapman is really good with the boxing, seems like, catching him with that nice right hand straight down the middle.
Well, here we go. He's trying to keep that distance, as you can see. Going to the body, as you made mention of. Looks like you're on point with it, but also finding good balance with staying up top. We saw a good straight left there from Chris Angel. Kind of a slower area, but these guys still setting an incredible pace, given what we just saw. Both guys with a knockdown in round number 2.
Yeah, Chris Angel for sure having the better kicks, and I think Chapman having the better boxing. So they got to utilize those skills to be able to get an advantage of their opponent.
Who are you giving this fight to right now?
I think Christopher. I think that it's been a close fight. First round, I would give it to Christopher. Is this the second round?
Yes,
yeah,
no, this will be third.
The third, okay. So yeah, that's a tough call, man. It's I think Christopher was starting off good, kind of like the last bout. You know, we had one guy start off strong, and then the other guy finished strong. So I think it's looking like it's going to be a same style.
Boy, they are. You can see both of them a little more tired, though. Chris Angel with a shot. What a shot! And he is going left, right, whatever he wants to do right now. It's like a video game with him. But he's getting cornered off. Let's see if he can work his way out of it here. Couple little knee shots from Bobby Chapman. Well, I got to tell you, you got to give it to Chapman. The kid's got grapefruits, my man.
That's what Chapman has to do. He's got to put pressure on the kick-heavy guy to be able to back him up into the corner.
Going in, good shot there. Look out. Chapman laying it off thick on his own. 10 seconds left in this one. Chapman waving it off. You didn't get me there, partner. Oh, he was able to duck it. They are going for it. End of the round. What an incredible fight by these two guys. Absolutely insane performance from both guys in fight number 2.
I know it's a great fight when I lose the count of rounds, man. What a fight.
You think the fight doctor made the right call there?
Yeah, I think he did. I think the cut man did a great job stopping the bleeding on that eye, and I think Chapman did a great job protecting that side coming into, being able to block some of those kicks. We saw it. He shook his head no whenever he blocked that kick, so he knew that that Christopher Angel was definitely targeting that eye.
And it doesn't get talked about enough, the cut man, right? Going back to Rocky movies, everybody's saying the cut man. All of a sudden he comes into play, Mick, you got to open my eye, blah, blah, blah. But a cut man plays a significant role in sealing up those wounds as the fight goes along to protect the fighter.
Absolutely. You have to have confidence in your cut man. You have to have good cut man. There is good and crappy cut man, and I'm telling you, this guy did a great job stopping that bleeding.
If you're a judge, who won that fight, Emmanuel?
That's a tough one, man. I think that, depending on I think we had one knockdown. We had that nasty kick up top. So I think that you give it to Chapman. I think that he ended up finishing strong in the last couple of rounds, was putting pressure on Christopher. But man, this is a tough fight. There's been some close fights tonight.
Unfortunately, we never really know what judges are looking for. So it's always 50-50. I've talked to a lot of judges. Some of them look for power punches. Some of them look for the amount of work that you've done. Some of them look for what they believe is control of the fight the whole time. It's just unfortunate that it never really seems to be a rhyme or reason, Emmanuel.
Yeah, Christopher landing nasty body shots. I think the pressure was good by Chapman, but it was a close fight. It could go either way, really.
I'm excited to see who won this one. We're going to turn it over back to Matt Ems. He's coming in to give us the official decision right now. I think those two guys just met a new friend, Emmanuel.
Absolutely. I mean, when you go in there and you give everything you have to knock your guy out, and it's vice versa, right? You got to show respect to your opponent, and there's really nothing like it.
Oh, that was fun. Was that fun? Come on. Tonight we have Judge Chris Ritter scored this bout 29-27 for Chapman. Judge Gary Ritter scored this bout tonight 29-28 for Angel. And Judge Michael Scott gave us an even 28-28. We have a split draw.
Oh, they're not happy with that. I don't think I am either. 29-27?
Yeah.
What?
Husky Fat Promotions.